Hi guys. I'm gonna start today's second session. This time I'm gonna try to solve a medium difficulty problem with high frequency. Medium, then let's sort this with the frequency. And then status to do. Oh, not high frequency, acceptance, because acceptance and then a little bit of high frequency, like more than a little bit of frequency, more than 50. This one. Nested list weight sum. Okay, let's try this. Nested list weight sum. You are given a nested list of integer. Nested list. Each element is either an integer or a list whose elements may also be integer or other list. Okay. The depth of an integer is the number of list that is inside of. Depth is an integer. Depth of an integer is the number of list that is inside number of list. For example, the nested list 1 to 2, 3 to 1 has each integer's value set to its depth. What? Integer's value set to its depth. 1, 2, 2, 3 to 1. Okay. Return the sum of each integer in the nested list multiplied by its depth. So this is depth 1, this is depth 2. So this is depth 2. Oops. So these are depth 2. So return the sum of each element. So this sum is 2 and then depth is 2. So 4, 6, 4. So the answer is 10. 1, 2, 1, 2, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 10. Okay. Okay. And then length is less than 50. The value of the integer in the listed list in the range of this maximum depth of any integer is less than equal to 50. Okay, this is the interface that we will create in a nested list. You should not implement it or speculate about its implementation. Nested integer. Nested integer int value constructor is integer. Okay, get integer, set integer. Set this nested integer to hold a nested list and then add. So this is nested list. This is nested integer. Nested why the name is nested integer? Nested integer nested integer I haven't set the time. I think I spent like 5 minutes reading this. So let's start from 55. 55 minutes. Const vector get list. Okay. So
이내나 갔다 올게.
나 레코딩 하고 있어. 레코딩.
갈게. 오빠가 안 태웠는데?
So the algorithm is like the depth actually one of the way to solve this is to use the recursion, and then here maximum depth is 50. And then length is 50. So in worst case, it could have any integer. Yeah, this is any integer, not nested list. So depth is 50 at most, so I think recursion would work. So how to solve this is so let's say that this is a nested list, and this is another nested list, and this is another nested list, and this could be nested list. So in this level, we can first calculate this one, and then add this one, right? And then each one need to know is and get some nested list start. Okay. So I'm gonna first try to, and then this need depth. So depth is initially return get depth sum, and then nested list. The start is 0, depth is initially 1. Excuse me. So here the rest is nested list start plus 1 no. For k when we get the nested list, not integer, we will call this. When in case of an integer, we don't need to call this, right? So 0 nested list, the size k plus plus so nested integer equals nested list k, right? If let's call it nested integer. Nested integer is integer. Then what you can do is that we'll have int total sum. So sum is initially 0. Then total sum equals ni dot get integer multiply depth and continue, right? When this is not an integer, total sum plus equal get depth sum, yes, list, the start is you don't need to start because we're gonna get depth sum of list. Well, this is a rather big long name, but let's use this for this test. List, then it's not starting from 0, and then depth plus 1, and then total sum, right? and then calc, let's change the name again, calculist. Okay. And void. So the return value is total sum. Okay. So let's make we need some test case. So depth sum with 1 or 1 2 or now 1 2 or this case 1 1 2 1 1, something like this. But this should be 1, this should be 3, this should be 1 2 3 6, then this should be 10 as we already calculate. So here calculist, so this is depth, total sum initially 0. So in case of this, so we're gonna loop this only once, so and then this will be an integer, right? So integer, then depth is 1, so total sum will be 1, and then continue and then return. Okay, in case of 2, this will run 2 times. So first this will be 1, and second this will be 2 1, so it will be 3. And then for this one will be called once, and then since this is not integer, we'll go to here, depth is now 2, so depth is now 2. And this is wrong because this is correct, right? Dot get list. Okay, so and then this will we get this. So the calculation is similar with previous one, so that will do. Well, to make it clear, yeah, this will do. This will work. Accepted. And then good. So important thing with this is that first we have to clearly define the working mechanism, the meaning of this calc. So the first time I was thinking that there is some kind of first element and then the rest will be handled by the recursion function, but and then I try to think that Well, in that case, why do I have to do this with recursion? I'm gonna do that in while loop. Yeah, I thought that, but I didn't tell. And then after then, the next step, what I thought is that, oh, let's make the so I tried to write this loop, and then I come up with oh, this function is not for the kind of everything. This is only for handling list. So that's what I did. Yeah, so at first time I didn't, it was not clear in my mind, but while writing this, I tried to come up with the solution, which is not very good in the real test, because in the real test I have to mention specifically before starting to write a code. Okay, let's not forget that. Okay, I think that's it. It took about 22 minutes. Thank you. Bye.